maximum security prison and resulted in quite a few embarrassed faces. Though most prison officials refused to comment, one penologist, who asked not to be identified, said with a grin, "Well, I guess it's back to the old drawing board." In sports last night, the big story was the off-season trade between Chicago and Atlanta.
Well, your escape was obviously a success.
Yes, your Treasury agents are very efficient.
Well, it's not too tough to pull off a prison break when you got the warden's cooperation. You know, this is amazing how much he looks like you. Are you sure he'll cooperate, huh?
Oh, he'll cooperate. Once he hears the deal.
I don't like it, sir. I don't like it at all. It's too risky.
Well, he's right. You know, it's dangerous, and it's not too late to back out.
According to this cable, Harris already knows about the gold. Probably headed for Lisbon and Mexico. How serious is that?
Well, if we hope to prevent an international gold panic, we've got to move.
What are the alternatives if I don't do the job?
None.
There's your answer. So what happens? I just sit here?
You're out of prison, aren't you? It ought to be enough for now.
It ought to be, but it ain't. And I want to know what I'm doing here now.
Maybe this is your answer.
Oh, you again. I should have known. Hello, Claudio. Full of surprises, aren't you, Commissioner? First you put me in, then you take me out. Glad you could make it. Sorry I couldn't dress for the occasion, but I got your invite on short notice. We've got quite a job for you. As it happens, I'm free. For the moment, that is. What's the job? Impersonating me. Pushover. What did you do? Take a vacation? No. I'll be impersonating you. Ha! Then you're gonna have a great vacation. Assuming you're not stupid enough to send yourself back to prison. I have to go to San Diego. I understand it's a town you know rather well. Sure, I know it. What's the deal? I want a rundown on your friends there, in detail. Yeah? Yeah. Joe Murphy. Rachel Solo. Vera Royal. Vera Royal? Wait a minute. What's the deal, Commissioner? I'll ask the questions. Vera Royal, huh? She finally must have made it big. You're about to make it big yourself. You're going to be a police commissioner while I'm away. I got $500,000 last year for impersonating you. Can you match that? I already did. You're out of jail, aren't you? That ain't good enough. If we get what we want, you'll get a parole when I get back. I get a parole whether you get back or not. The chances are that slim, huh? I know Vera and her crowd. You ain't coming back. All right. You tell us what you know. Everything. And I'll see that you get a parole, whether I get back or not. You got yourself a deal.
Okay, but I hold the papers until we're certain that the commissioner is not coming back. We wouldn't want two Mattins running around loose on the San Diego waterfront.
Oh, I don't know. Sounds kind of like fun to me.
You're going to be doing undercover work with her?
You could call it that, yeah.
Just how long do you think it's going to take?
As long as it takes to find out when and where the gold will be smuggled into the States. Then get word back to the Treasury Department.
You're not even in the Treasury Department.
My qualifications are only physical, I admit.
Your qualifications are exactly the kind that a woman like Vera Royal would want. That's what bothers me.
Manton will be staying under the same roof with you. Now, surely you can trust me with her.
There's a difference. A big difference. I know that Manton is not my husband, but Vera Royal has no way of knowing that you're not her lover.
Well, what about last year? You thought he was your husband then?
Don't be ridiculous. Not for a minute.
Well, he didn't get anywhere with me, despite repeated attempts.
What repeated attempts?
And he won't this time either.
You mean you knew he was an imposter?
Oh, it was so obvious. I mean, he may look a little bit like you, Commissioner, but... Oh, I never judge a book by its cover. What matters to me is what's inside. And you don't need a title page to tell you what that man is like.
Why, Mildred, you mean you do like me?
I don't think I said that, Commissioner.
Mildred, be careful. Mac needs that for his work.
That's work.
Commissioner, you're in for the time of your life. After being me for a few days, you'll never be satisfied again. And let me tell you something else. Commissioner, you're in for the time of your life. Commissioner, you're in for the time of your life. After being me for a few days, you'll never be satisfied again. And let me tell you something else. Commissioner, you're in for the time of your life. After being me for a few days, you'll never be satisfied again. And let me tell you something else. And therefore, the investigation is continuing, and no further comment will be made until tomorrow morning's briefing. And therefore, the investigation is continuing, and no further comment will be made before... Oh, come on, Sergeant. I got away with impersonating him last year, didn't I?
Keep practicing. An important life depends on your being perfect.
Yeah? Well, an important life depended on it last year, too. Mine.
Well, no one's worried about you, Manton. You're safe.
Yeah, I know. Well, you got plenty of reason to be worried about him. He's going into a real jungle. One mistake, and it's curtains.
I'm telling you, the Treasury Department knows too much. There's a leak somewhere. You find out who and get rid of him. I don't care what you have to do. Just get rid of him, you understand? Right. And tell Vera I'll be seeing her soon. Right. Right.
As far as we know, they've shipped the gold from Paris to Lisbon. Now, if our reports are right, it's headed from Mexico and then the U.S. Now, that's your assignment, Mac. How, where, and when.
Oh, no. Like this. Curlier. Yeah, that's better.
That should do it, Commissioner.
Hey, Joe. Any coffee around?
Yeah.
How about getting us a couple of cups?
Be a pleasure.
Thank you. Any idea who gives Vera her orders? No one knows the answer to that. That's the one thing she never yaks about. But there is someone. He's got to have plenty of honor. He's the only man alive that scares her. When did you last see her? A couple of years ago. Acapulco. How were things between you when you left? Not as good as they'll be when I get back. A lot will be expected of you, Commissioner, so don't let me down. It may be your life at stake, but it's my reputation. Well, I'll do my best not to let you down.
Commissioner?
Yes, Sergeant, what is it?
Oh, well, I thought you'd like to know.
No, Charlie. Here.
Oh, yeah. Well, your contact lens has just arrived.
Oh, yeah.
Your coffee.
Yeah.
Sensational, Commissioner.
Yeah.
Your eyes really look blue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's take a look at the pictures. Number 1, Joe Murphy, bartender at the Lotus.
And him?
Bill Johnson, former Navy flyer, will work for anybody if the price is right.
Good. Now for the ladies.
Rachel Solo. I'm not to be confused by her last name because she almost never is.
What about her?
Bonnie Sue, born without a last name for obvious reasons.
Excellent. What is Vera's favorite fragrance?
Gardenia.
Her drink?
Champagne, exclusively.
Your song?
Or what?
I mean, her song with Manton, their song.
Oh, My Blue Heaven.
Paradise.
Oh, yeah.
And the deep dip?
Hmm?
The deep dip. It's Vera's favorite dance step, sir. You know, with Paradise. Dip? Well, everybody used to dance that way.
Not everybody.
You know, Commissioner, Manton has really led quite a life. I love my work, but listening to him talk last night, well, I couldn't help wondering if maybe I had missed a little.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know when I get back. Don't you have anything a little quieter? Quieter? These are the best threads in town. Are you kidding? Bring it over here. Man, do you dress square? Yes, I want to enjoy your wardrobe, too. I looked great, but this bummer, who'd know? I got it figured you'd be leaving in the morning. Good luck. Oh, and take care of the old rep. It's all I got, but it's plenty.
Look, Frank, before you go, will you talk to him again? Tell him to get out of there as soon as he has the information. I know the way he is. He'll want to stay there until he has the gold shipment in your hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Charlie, I want to look at those San Diego maps.
Yes, sir.
What's the matter? Your lenses bother you? Of course not.
Commissioner, here's the waterfront map you wanted. First of all, the Lotus Bar is located...
I could find the Lotus Bar blindfolded. Over here, Charlie.
What's my favorite dessert?
Apple crumb cake.
Manton says he's known all over the waterfront, sir. So if you hang around there long enough, you'll bump into somebody who'll lead you to Vera.
Now, according to our latest reports, the gold is due in at the end of the week. Now, once you find out where and when, I want you out of there because, believe me, you'd be safer with the ingots than with that information.
He's right, sir. Those people kill a man for what he knows.
Yeah. And a lot of times they think he knows more than he does, so you're going to be in danger from the time you get there till you get out.
I appreciate your concern, but I don't trust your motives.
My motives? We've never been apart more than one night. I'm gonna miss you.
If Manton's as convincing as last time, You maybe even forget I'm gone.
There's only one man in my life, and he ain't got blue eyes.
Oh. You mean him?
That's only half the story.
Better?
Best. Your beautiful brown eyes are the reason that I fell in love with you. Didn't you know that?
That's the reason? Never guessed.
Vera Royal. You know, Mac, that photograph could be an old one. I bet she's aged a lot since then.
Probably has.
Yeah.
Most women do.
Yes, that kind of a life can be very hard on a woman. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
All those men in her life. Bet she's exhausted. Just a shadow of her former self.
No doubt it.
Do you know, I feel better. Why didn't you tell me all these things earlier?
Because I didn't think of it earlier.
I'm certainly glad that you finally did.
Yes, so am I. Because after all, I was taught to be kind to the aged.
Just exactly, what do you mean by kind?
Well, I will be posing as Manton, and who knows what will be expected of it.
Well, whatever it is, she's gonna be disappointed, right?
He did tell me his reputation was at stake. How could I let him down?
You'll think of something.
So I think the Lotus Bar would be the best contact point. I'll look it over when I get down there and then call you.
Well, I'll hear from you tonight, then, eh?
Yeah, tonight. Can I give you a lift anywhere?
No, thanks. I'm walking as much as possible these days. I like a lot better than dieting. Makes me feel happier.
Right. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Take it easy, huh?
Sir? You sure you still want to go through with this?
There's no choice. You know that.
They know too much. Otherwise, Hanson wouldn't be dead. The stakes are too high.
I didn't exactly volunteer for the job.
Well, you didn't turn it down, either. I was just thinking of how Mrs. McMillan would feel if anything happened to you. And me.
Not to mention Mildred.
Not to mention Mildred.
I'll be passing the information on to you, you know. You're taking just as much a risk as I am. Do you want to back out?
No.
And I'll see you tomorrow night at the Lotus Bar. I'll light a cigarette when it's safe to talk. Now stop worrying. I'll be back in a week.
What do you want?
Boilermaker. Murphy around?
You from out of town?
Who isn't? Why? Doesn't he work here anymore?
He don't work anymore.
Retired?
Dead.
How did he die?
Well, papers said that he died of a sudden illness. I call it just sudden.
I'm looking for a dame named Vera Royal. Any idea how I could find her?
Is she looking for you?
She will be. She knows I'm in town.
Oh, one of those big thrill things, when she finds you, huh?
Check.
Well, if she wants you, she'll find you.
If you happen to hear from her, tell her that Claudio Manton's back in town. It'll be good news. I promise you.
Hey, Claudio. Good to see you again, pal.
Same here. How you been?
Oh, breathing.
It's more than old Murphy can say.
Yeah, but then Murphy had it coming. He was in a highly dangerous line of work.
Bartending?
Sure, bartending, Claudio. You're still a funny man, even with your jailbreak making all the papers.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever happened to those Havana cigars you were going to send me from Florida? You forget?
Oh, I couldn't forget you, pal. It's just that I didn't get to Florida that time.
Got a better offer, huh? From a richer lady?
Yeah, you know how it is.
No, but I'd like to.
Tell me, you seen Vera lately?
Man, you got some nerve looking her up again after running out on her the way you did.
Yeah, well, that's my problem, isn't it?
It sure is.
So where is she?
Maybe you're in luck. Nobody's seen her in a couple of months.
She's not out of town.
Who knows?
Yeah. Well, somebody has to know. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Dee 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 dee. Well, hello there.
Down, boy.
You didn't hear it?
Hear what?
That noise. All that banging, I thought there was trouble.
There is, till you start back downstairs again.
You sure you didn't hear anything?
Oh, I heard the police patrolling outside. Lest you forget.
You don't trust me, Mildred.
Ah, got it on the first guess. That's why I'm here. And the cops are outside. Of course, if this arrangement doesn't suit you, we can always return you from whence you came to jail.
I'm surprised at you, Mildred. Someone with your obvious experience in show business, I thought you'd get a kick out of this.
Show business?
You weren't a showgirl? A dame built like you?
A dame built like me? They didn't even finish building me. Well, great legs, but where's the rest of me? No, Manton, you go on back to your couch before I order a cage.
Come on, Millie, let's have a highball.
I don't drink, thanks.
Then how about a piece of that delicious apple pie? I was dreaming about it when I woke up.
Sure you were.
Apple pie?
Okay.
Say, buddy. Got a light?
Sure.
We hear you've been looking for Vera Royal.
That's right.
You just got lucky. Okay, here they come. Let's go. What about the Jameson case, Commissioner?
Yes, how angry are you?
Angry?
The grand jury refused to return an indictment. Isn't that so?
They said lack of evidence. Isn't that a reflection on your department, Commissioner?
Well, at this point in time,
I
according
think
to
that
the
you
evidence...
gentlemen are asking the wrong man that question. Don't you think that question belongs to the district attorney?
We'd better hurry up, Commissioner. You'll be late for your next appointment.
I'm aware of my appointment schedule, Sergeant.
I really would like to go home, dear. It's been an awfully long day.
Great. Nothing I'd like better than spending the night home alone with the little lady.
Oh, don't get your hopes up.
Let's get a few pics with the little lady. Come on, honey, a little bit closer. Real green all morning. I missed you.
Yeah, don't call me honey.
What does he call you?
Sally.
Catchy. This is the one little woman of San Francisco who always feels safe, and that's because you're married to a police commissioner. Right, honey?
What about that, Mrs. McMillan? Your husband's work can be dangerous. Are you ever frightened?
Not when I'm with my husband, Ken, no.
Which is why I have this new policy of always having her right by my side.
Excuse me.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Commissioner, you haven't talked much about the Jameson case.
I think that would be impossible to discuss at this time, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Gonna,
However, I feel...
You gonna take any action, Commissioner?
That'll be all for now, gentlemen. Thank you.
Stand too close, man. You gotta be pretty steady on your feet to enjoy the view from the top.
Takes more than heights to make me dizzy.
Then we'll just have to try something else. I like to keep my men off balance.
Hello, baby. Glad to see you again.
Okay, boys. Something else. Watch the antiques, fellas.
Is that enough?
Just a little more. Okay, fellas, that's just right. Thanks. You always were a little too pretty. This is much nicer.
If I remember right, we used to get along a lot better than this.
Oh, you remember right. We used to get along beautifully. You rat.
What'd I do?
Now, isn't that just like a man? Pretending to forget.
Vera, you look a lot better than the last time.
That's because I'm doing a lot better than the last time.
Yeah, I noticed.
I was sure you would. That's the kind of thing you notice first, isn't it, Claudio? How well the lady's doing. And I don't mean her looks.
Come on, Vera. Spent a whole year in jail. Come over here looking for a little kindness. And first, your two hoods damn near beat me to death, and then you give me a lot of lip.
Oh, yes, I heard about the prison break. Who helped you?
Help me?
Come on, Claudio. You don't break out of that prison without help. Who was it?
Nobody.
Oh. Some rich broad who couldn't live without you,
I'm through with that kind of life, Vera. I spent a whole year just thinking about it, and I'm going to pay my own way from now on.
Oh, now that doesn't sound like the Claudio I knew and loved. As a matter of fact, you don't even look the same. No, there's something very different about you.
Oh, even I age a little.
Oh, I approve of age in other people. No, it's not age. It's something else. You've had your teeth fixed, haven't you?
Yeah. The better to bite you with.
Teddy, I thought you were already on your way.
I was. But then I heard Pretty Boy Creep was in town, so I came back.
Hello, Teddy. Long time no see.
Not long enough.
I see you still have it.
I still have everything you give me, baby. Always liked from the first stroke. You always said it reminds you of me.
Get out, Madden.
Cool it, Teddy. We don't even know why Claudio's here yet.
Don't we?
No. Just what do you want, Claudio?
I need papers to get out of the country.
Out of the country? When you're with Vera, you're out of the country.
Am I with Vera?
We've got business, Vera.
Yes, I know, and you should have been on your way by now.
I go when he goes.
Oh, you just gave me an idea. Claudio, how long has it been since you went upstairs and jumped out?
Upstairs? I thought this was the penthouse.
What's funny? I don't think he has the slightest idea what you're talking about.
He knows what we're talking about. He used to be the best in the business.
Still am the best.
At what?
Oh, what do you think? Going upstairs and jumping out.
Look, I told you he knew what we were talking about.
No, he hasn't said anything except what we've said.
Look, Teddy, it's not the kind of sport they encourage in prison. I may be a little out of shape, but I always know how to jump out of a plane.
You really were the best, you know.
I never forget anything I'm good at.
Oh?
I may need a little practice.
Oh, we'll provide plenty of practice in all departments.
I want to talk to you, Vera.
Sure, Teddy. Why don't you put on a record, Claudio? Our song is still there.
Sure, baby.
You forgetting the last time I walked out on you?
I'm not forgetting anything. I just thought of a way to get even. Only this time he's gonna walk out on me at 10,000 feet, and I'm gonna be watching. Then it's just you and me, baby. Now, look, why don't you go, Teddy? You got a lot of work to do.
I don't like leaving you alone.
Oh, I can handle Claudio.
Just make sure he doesn't handle you.
Oh? You remembered? I'm surprised. It's been so long, I thought you might have forgotten. Now, let's see if you remember what comes next.
I never thought I'd meet the lady who would make me want to take a shot at getting married. Till now.
You're very sweet, Claudio. But I don't think that marriage is for every man. Having a wife is quite a responsibility.
Not from where I'm standing. If I were married, I'd never go off and leave a wife like you.
Yeah, well, you might not have any choice.
Come on. The police commissioner of San Francisco doesn't have a choice. Who are you trying to kid?
This doesn't have anything to do with San Francisco, you know. You don't know. And you're not going to get another word out of me. Not about Mac and not about what he's doing in San Diego.
Well, if he's with Vera, I know what he's doing. I just don't know why. Not when he has someone like you waiting at home.
You know, you can be kind of nice sometimes.
So I make my living, sweetheart.
Yeah, I know. But do you know, it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't a rather decent person hidden under all of that facade.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who needs him? Facade's what counts. The company I keep. And if you're talking about last year, when I let you off the hook, that was different. You thought I was your husband. This time, you'll know what you're getting. Shall we go?
As soon as Mildred's ready.
Mildred's coming? I thought we were going to a dinner dance.
We are, but it's also a benefit for charity. Organized by my most suspicious friend, Carol, which is why we're making this appearance. Besides, it's $50 a plate. Why don't we just think of Mildred as another contribution?
Got an idea. Why don't we leave Mildred there as part of the contribution? Mildred, you look wonderful. It's worth $50 just to get a good look at you.
Well, it's too bad the commissioner can't be here to see since he's paying.
You know, that dress reminds me of the good old days.
Well, if it was good enough for Mrs. McMillan's mother, it's good enough for me.
Is that where you got that dress? I think it looks great. Come on, Claudia. Come on. Oh, we're gonna have a ball, aren't we?
Rye whiskey. Any word yet?
How's Sally?
She's fine.
It's on its way. I'm on the reception committee. I'll find out where tomorrow. We're having a practice run.
How'd it go with Vera Royal?
All right. Finally. Give me a rundown on a guy named Teddy Sands. He's running things for Vera and doing his best to get rid of Manton, which translates me.
Nice, quiet place.
Yeah.
Always like this?
Yeah.
You better get out of here before the cops come.
Sure Sally's all right?
She's fine. In fact, she's at a big party Mrs. Clenshaw's throwing tonight.
Good. I hope she's having a ball.
Boy, I'm having a ball.
Then, why don't you look at me?
Claudio, you've only got one brown eye.
What?
She's right. What'd you do with the other eye, dummy?
It was here a minute ago.
Will you two act casual,
What'd you
please?
do, dummy?
Well, I want everyone to have a good time, of course, but don't you think you've taken it just a little bit far?
Carol, what a lovely party.
Oh, well, how can you tell from down there?
Well, we've seen it all from top to bottom, and we're the best judges.
Why, Mac, You wear contacts. I never knew that before.
Carol, please. He's very sensitive.
Oh, well, several pounds on me, artificial, and I'm not sensitive.
Yes, we've noticed. The pounds and the sensitivity.
If this gala weren't costing $50 a head, I'd have yours sent home.
Carol, you look absolutely ravishing.
Well, thank you, Sally. Oh, and so does Mac. I've never seen him quite so dashing. I can't keep my hands off him.
Try.
You see, honey? There are plenty of women who would be happy to change places with you.
Oh, I'll say. And the line forms here, right behind me.
Carol, are we raising lots of money tonight?
Oh, only a small fortune. 2 more tickets, and I'd have a sellout on my hands.
I'll take them. Send the bill to my office.
Why, Mac, how darling. Oh, I've never known you to be so generous. Oh, my last 2 tickets, I now have a perfect score.
And that's the only kind to have.
Oh, well, I'm sure if I had you around all the time, I'm sure I'd never have to worry.
Likewise, I'm sure.
Oh, why am I so turned on by your husband tonight? It's getting quite embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
He's even changed his shaving lotion.
Oh, Mac is just full of surprises these days, Carol.
There are more to come.
Not while I'm around.
I certainly hope not. Don't you ever go on vacation, Mildred? You know, Sally, you're a very lucky girl to have a husband who still has surprises left.
That's why I'm not taking a vacation this year. Shall we dance, Commissioner? They're playing our song.
Their song?
Well, it's certainly not my song. You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Tell you one thing, though, wouldn't trade places with you. Going to all those dances. What a strain.
Thought you were having a good time.
Oh, me, no. I just gone through the motions. You know, so everybody wouldn't get suspicious.
You know, you did a good job. You even had men convinced you were having a good time.
That gigolo, did you see the way he was kissing my hand?
Yes, I did.
Well, does he think that behavior's going to get him anywhere?
Oh, it certainly got him a terrific breakfast.
Yeah, well, even a gigolo has to eat, I suppose.
No identification. Let's see if this says anything. Damn, that won't be much help.
Claudio, the eighth wonder of the world.
Does that mean anything to you? We'll turn into headquarters to see what they can make of it.
You better get ready.
To be continued?
Anytime, baby.
And how come I get the feeling you're always bluffing?
You want to try calling my head?
That's what today is all about, sweetheart.
So soon?
Well, any luck in finding what you're looking for?
No, I didn't. Where's the lighter flicker on this place? My flame's getting a little low.
Oh, I hadn't noticed. Maybe I'm not as observant as I should be. The dry lake bed, that's your target. And here's the game. Teddy's the best free faller in the business today, but I expect you to be better. If you open your chute before Teddy, consider yourself out of our deal.
I don't know what the deal is yet.
If you free fall longer than Teddy will tell you.
If you free fall longer and live, that is. Fine by me. I'm at home in the air just as I am on the ground.
We'll see, Blue Eyes.
Even an omelet has its limit.
Coming, my dove. To dance the way you danced last night? And now to cook? The way you cooked this morning, well, it's a miracle. I mean, I've known women who can do one or the other, but not both.
I've been something of a surprise to myself lately.
Pity. Probably hasn't had a good meal since he left.
Vera Royal doesn't cook?
Vera Royal cook? Are you kidding?
Well, I suppose in her profession, who would notice? Drink your orange juice.
I can do it.
You wouldn't catch me standing over a hot stove if I lived that kind of life.
Oh? And what kind of a life does she lead?
Well, you know what I mean, coming into all that money.
Oh. Now, all about the money,
Well, I know it's 100 million in solid gold. What more do you need to know?
Yeah. I mean, at those prices, any woman would get out from behind the stove.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't even have to worry about your cooking to win a man. You could just buy him.
Okay, fellas, jump run.
Okay, Romeo. Now we'll see who's best.
Now!
Well, looks like I'm in on the deal.
As far as I'm concerned, you're not in on any deal.
Yeah? Yeah. You all right? Good. Come on.
Claudio! Claudio! You forgot to put in your order for dinner! Claudio! It's gone. Skipped. Oh.
Oh, by the way, Roy, thanks for the limo.
Okay, Claudio. Hope you make it to San Diego.
He's gone, Sergeant. We've looked everywhere.
Even under the beds.
All right, now calm down. Now, how did it happen?
Well, I don't know. The last thing I knew, Mildred was serving him breakfast.
Yeah, it was a terrific breakfast.
It was. I saw it.
What did he say? Anything?
Yeah, he said it was a terrific breakfast. Even renamed my muffins. Muffins Mildred, he called them.
Forget about the muffins, Mildred. Did he say anything about where he was going?
No. I just thought he was leaving to come home for dinner.
Where do you think he has gone, Sergeant? San Diego? What's the matter, Sergeant? What's wrong? It's Mac, isn't it?
I don't want to worry you. It's not even worth talking about.
What's not worth talking about?
I don't want you to worry, Mrs. McMillan. I'm sure it's all a mistake.
What's a mistake?
A man was killed last night. Outside of the bar where I met with the commissioner. No identification. Except for a cigarette case with Manton's name on the inside.
It could be Mac, couldn't it?
Well, we only got the call a couple of minutes ago. We don't even have a description yet. So let's not jump to conclusions. I'm sure the commissioner is perfectly safe.
I'm going to San Diego, Sergeant. Right now.
With housekeeper. We'll find him. He's here, and we will find him.
Any word yet, Sergeant?
No, he didn't show at the contact point. I'm sure it's because he couldn't get away.
Do you really think he's with Vera?
Well, he's bound to be. I even think I know where they are. Place called Mr. Biggs. I haven't been able to get into it yet, though.
What's Mr. Biggs?
A private club. Very private. Vera runs it.
Do you think Manton knows about it? Could he be there, too?
No, I don't think so. The place just opened. Why, you can't even get in the front door unless you're with a member. But I'll make it somehow. Now, don't worry, Mrs. McMillan. You know we have agents everywhere. So if I don't find the commissioner first, they will. And then I'll let you know the minute it happens.
Thank you, Sergeant. I appreciate it. Call me, no matter how late. You know I won't be sleeping until I know he's all right.
Good night.
Good night. Come on, Mildred. We've got some business of our own to do at Mr. Biggs. Put on your sexiest.
My sexiest? Whatever you say. Wow, what about these boas? Well, it's just the perfect touch, Mrs. McMillan. Nobody lucky to get them on sale. But I mean, why a sale on boas? Boas are never out of season, are they?
Be glad they were on sale, or I would have only been able to afford one.
Yeah, and you might have gotten chilly without one. Well, tonight, we're plain clothes women.
Well, I wouldn't exactly use that phrase. However, I did want to hide our inherent good taste so we wouldn't be conspicuous at Mr. Biggs.
Yeah, well, I think you've seen to that. Frankly, I couldn't be happier. I mean, I was never turned on by good taste myself.
Mildred, we've just got to get in there tonight. I just want to know that Mac is safe.
Don't worry now, we will. We'll get in. And in these boas, we're just made for Mr. Biggs. We're not going to settle for anything smaller.
Okay, ladies, this is the place.
Well, at least it's a nice neighborhood.
Excuse me, ladies.
We'll be lucky to make it to the front door.
There's the button.
Mrs. McMillan, tonight you gotta forget everything your mother ever taught you and listen to me.
Right. And you better call me Sal, Mildred.
Right, and you call me Millie. And look like you got something to sell, will you? Or nobody will be interested in buying. Come on.
Sorry, sisters, this is a private club.
Oh, we're expected. Come on,
yeah?
Sal.
By who?
Well, you're going to be very sorry you stopped us when you find out who invited us.
That's right, Mr. Big. Very sorry.
Name him.
He doesn't want us to use his name.
Look, sisters, can you peddle it someplace else? This is a private club, not a shopping center.
Does the name Claudio Manton mean anything to you?
I thought you didn't know his name.
Well, he doesn't know I know it.
Does Vera Royal know you know it?
Now you know why we have to keep it a secret.
Okay. Now get inside before somebody sees you. But stay out of trouble, unless you want trouble from me. Okay?
Okay.
Rien ne va plus, mesdames, messieurs. 22. Faites vos jeux, mesdames, messieurs. Faites vos jeux. Rien ne va plus. Rien ne va plus. 15. Soir. Impérément. Faites vos jeux, mesdames, messieurs. Faites vos jeux.
Hey, Sal, just for the look of it, don't you think I ought to hit the sauce kind of hard tonight?
Millie, you've been on the wagon several weeks now. You don't want to fall off?
Yeah, I do want to fall off.
Will it be, ladies?
Oh, I'd like a very dry...
Temple.
A Temple?
Yes, a Shirley Temple. Make that 2, please.
Oh, come on, have mercy. I can't drink 2 of those.
I'm having 1, Millie. 2 Temples.
2 Temples.
I got it. It's the police work, right?
Right.
We both got to be sober.
May I buy you ladies a drink?
Oh, we thought you'd never ask.
Even better. Is either one of you available for a little conversation?
Both of us. Very available.
And not all that unreasonable either.
Especially her.
Speak for yourself, Sal.
Look, I don't want to start trouble.
Neither do we. It's just that we're both rather new at all of this.
Well, I can do something about that. Come on.
Good evening, Mike.
Will you excuse us, please?
I thought we were going to have a
Get
drink.
lost. It's him.
Or the other one.
No, it's Mac, I'm sure.
Wait a minute.
Hey,
Hmm?
who's the little number?
Which one?
The one who can't take her eyes off you.
I don't know. I can't remember.
You may not remember her, honey, but she's obviously never gonna forget you.
I'll get rid of her.
Claudio!
Look, suppose you two go back where you came from.
Oh, Mac, thank God.
And right now.
Mike, how did they get in here?
They said they knew him.
Well, get them out now, and don't let them back in. Clear?
Your orders always are, Miss Royal.
Whatever you say, Claudio. I just wanted to say hello.
Well, now it's time to say goodbye. Now get out of here.
All right, ladies, time.
I took care of him.
Good. So did I. Well, good night, ladies. Oh, I'm disappointed in you, Claudio. I thought you had better taste.
He does.
Hey. What are you doing later, kid?
What's it to you, Buster?
I get off in a couple of hours.
Yeah, well, I'll be asleep in a couple hours.
Okay. But if you change your mind, you know where I'm at.
I knew where you were at 5 minutes after I met you.
Deacon, it's me, Mac. Finally had a chance to call. Is Enright there?
Who is this?
What do you mean, who is this? I just told you it's McMillan.
Sorry, but in a situation like this, I can't be too careful.
Well, now, how do you think I feel?
Mac, who?
Deacon, what in the hell's going on there anyway?
I can't tell you anything on this end until I'm sure who you are.
All right, Skipper, just tell Enright I'll meet him at the Lotus Bar tomorrow afternoon at 3 for apple crumb cake.
Glad you're here, Sergeant. I just had a call. Now, it could have been the commissioner, but then it could have been Manton.
Well, what did he say?
That he'd be at the Lotus tomorrow afternoon at 3 for apple crumb cake. Does that make sense?
Sense? It means he's alive. I gotta phone Mrs. McMillan. She is gonna be so relieved.
Apple crumb cake means he's alive?
Yeah, it's my favorite dessert. We use it as a special code.
The gold's in Mexico. It got there last night. They'll try to cross the border sometime tomorrow.
Room 1200, please. Any idea how?
None. We have to hope the commissioner gets word to us.
Well, there's not much of a chance if they keep going this fast. That's strange. She doesn't answer. I wonder where she could be.
Sí. Estoy listo. ¿Estás seguro? No estoy contenta con todo esto.
We ready?
She wants to see you first. Say goodbye, but make it fast.
Just as fast as she wants it.
No, no. Dame un poco de tiempo. Te llamaré más tarde. Sí. Esta noche. Gracias. Well, we're all set, sweetheart.
What about the equipment?
It'll all be there as needed. You just be careful and don't get hurt. You've got a future with me, you know.
Where do we meet you?
You'll be driven.
In other words, I still don't get to know how it fits together.
No one has all the pieces.
Except you.
Except Mr. Big. All you need to know is how to handle your end.
What about Teddy? How much does he know?
Enough to handle his.
Does his end include handling me? I don't like working in the dark, Vera.
Look, Claudio, no one's in this alone. And one mistake could blow the whole thing. I know you'll come through for us. Just watch out for Teddy. We have to use him, but we don't have to trust him.
Is that why you only told him half what he needs to know?
Is that what he told you?
No, but you only told me half. I assume you told him the other half.
Don't you see, darling? The more you know, the more you're a threat to him. If he starts to make trouble, don't hesitate to get rid of him.
To give him the same orders?
Mr. Big gives the orders. Vera just gives her heart.
Vera Royal still live around here?
You still didn't hear from her then, huh?
They put in a laundromat at her last address. If you see her, tell her Claudio Manton's looking for her.
All right, same message as last time. I got it.
What last time?
You don't remember last time?
Oh, yeah. It must have been loaded.
You sure didn't look loaded. And after 28 years, I know loaded, believe me.
I was worried about you.
You knew I'd turn up, didn't you?
Well, I wasn't sure that you'd be able to get away. Did you get the timetable yet?
Oh, Claudio! Oh, baby, it's good to see you.
I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
I'll be right back.
Will I see you later? Oh, see you later.
What'd you do, circle the building?
What circle the building?
Didn't you just leave here?
I just got here.
I gotta go.
You gotta go. I'm leaving for Mexico right now. The shipment's coming in by air today. Harpersfield.
You'll be on the plane with it?
No, I'll be in the air with it. you try that again, you'll really take a dive. Happy landing, think.
Are you crazy? Get out of here. I'm quitting. It's not bad enough I don't know when a customer's drunk. I don't even know when I'm drunk myself.
Who was that guy?
Bum I slugged? Never saw him before.
If you're pulling a double cross, it'll be your last one.
Come on, Teddy. How about me getting a little sleep, huh?
Good idea. Why don't you sleep right through the jump?
Where are they now? Almost at Calexico, the border. They're making good time. I just hope the commissioner's with them. What do you mean? He was seen boarding. Manton was seen boarding. I just hope it's the commissioner as Manton and not Manton as Manton.
They're getting closer. They've just crossed the border.
Coming up. Now!
right here. It's clean, Sergeant. Nothing. But this must be the flight. And the gold has to be here.
12,000 gold ingots? Where? And where's the commissioner? When we find him, we'll find the ingots.
Well, I was sure he'd be here. He said he'd be in the air with the shipment. Unless... Of course. That's what he meant by taking a dive. Of course.
Oh, Mr. Big will be a happy man today. I'll deliver it to him myself. Meet you at my place. You can take my car.
Why don't you let me drive? It's a pretty rough car to handle.
No, it's safer if we separate. Just wait for me at my place. I'll join you as soon as I can.
What about Teddy?
There's another car for him. He's coming later. He's got a little job to do first.
Oh, too many witnesses.
Hmm.
Why don't you let me handle it? I'm getting a little rusty.
Sure you're up to it?
There's only 2 of them, aren't there? All I need's a little practice.
Well, so far, you haven't forgotten anything you used to do. Take care of them.
Yeah, thanks, baby. See you later.
And for as long as you want to stay. You've earned it, sweetheart.
What's the holdup?
Claudio will take care of the others. You go on to my place.
Why the change?
Because I decided to change, Teddy. Now go on. Bye-bye, baby.
Bye-bye.
Well, there's nothing like spending a night away from home to make you appreciate your own bed.
It's no bed to me until Mac's back in it. I don't know why I listened to Sergeant Enright. I could be in San Diego right now helping out. Some homecoming.
Yeah, well, listen. Should we have a buffet or a sit-down dinner? What? Well, we can handle a lot more at a buffet, but a sit-down dinner is nice, has a little more class. Of course, it's a lot more trouble for me, but what's that?
Mildred, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the welcome home party for the commissioner.
What welcome home party?
Oh, now listen, we all know he's alive, and it's just a matter of time until he comes home. You can't start planning these things too fast.
How can you think of a party now?
Look, we can either have it indoors or maybe out on the terrace. We've never used the terrace for a party. Might be nice.
Mac is in more trouble now than he's ever been with Manton on the loose down there.
Don't be ridiculous. They've probably caught him by now. After all, they have a perfect description of him. Now, let's see. Who would you like to invite? Should we keep it small, or would you like to invite Carol Crenshaw?
Mildred, I know what you're doing.
You do?
I appreciate it.
Why not give me some help? Would you like cold hors d'oeuvres or hot hors d'oeuvres?
I think hot. Hey, why don't we try a new soup?
Oh, soup. There you go, making trouble for me again. Well, if we're gonna have soup, I have to get a new soup tureen, and I can pick that up this afternoon. And of course, those old soup bowls have to go. Now, if you're gonna have soup, you've got a couple of basic choices. It can either be a cream base, or it can be a clear broth, or you could have a soup with a few vegetables in it, or some noodles.
Vera, baby.
Claudio.
Boy, is it good to see you.
How'd you get here so fast?
So I hope I'm just not too
You
late.
took care of everything in the cabin, didn't you? Nothing went wrong.
Cabin.
Yeah.
Plenty went wrong. They're using a double for me.
Double?
Yes.
What are you pulling anyway? You get your share and that's it. Now, don't give me any talk about double.
Wait a minute, you don't understand. They know all about the shipment. Now we have to move it. Now where is it? We're in a hurry.
What do you think I am, Claudio? Stupid?
No.
What kind of a double cross are you pulling anyway?
I'm not trying to
I thought we had a future together. When will I stop trusting men?
Just stop trusting the wrong ones. He's with the cops, Vera. They've already picked up Al and Eddie, and they're probably on their way here right now.
But that wasn't me. He's a police commissioner.
Then you're a police commissioner.
No, he looks exactly like me. Don't you see?
Yeah, I see.
Me too. I've also heard enough. Bye-bye, lover. Take care of him, Teddy. I've got to warn Mr. Big.
Vera, wait. That jailbreak was rigged. They knew the only way to get at you was through me.
And they were so right, weren't they, Claudio? How you could have said those things to me last night.
That wasn't me last night.
Oh, don't take that away from me. Whatever you are, you're one of a kind.
Vera.
Claudio?
Sure.
Then who's Teddy killing in there?
Commissioner!
There are two of you.
Police, Miss Royal.
Oh.
Oh, no, you don't.
Oh.
Come on.
I'm all right.
Commissioner?
Yeah, Charlie. What about the car?
Where you suspected, sir. Right here. There's an underground vault in the garages. And you were right about that car, too, sir. It's solid gold.
I told you I was taking it to Mr. Big. Now, what made you think you'd find it here?
Because you're not the kind of woman to take orders. You're the kind who gives them. They may be camouflaged with champagne or money, but they are orders, always.
And you take orders better than any man I've ever met.
I was taking orders from you, not Mr. Big, right?
Do me a favor.
Maybe.
Just don't tell Teddy that I'm Mr. Big. He'd be too humiliated if he knew that he'd been working for a woman all these years.
Booker. I'll call an ambulance. Not a police ambulance. I still get my parole, don't I? You didn't keep your end of the bargain. That's the kind of a guy I am. But you always keep yours. It's the kind of a guy you are, right? Right.
Well, good night, Mildred.
Good night.
Good night, Mildred.
You gonna be all right, Mrs. McMillan?
Of course she's going to be all right. She's with me.
If you are you. If he starts to tango, just give me a shout.
If this man tangos, he tangos with me.
Miss Manton, Mildred?
Manton? That gigolo? Do you know he actually called me a showgirl? I mean, who would believe a line like that?
Nobody I know.
Well, he wasn't the only one. I had another offer last night. Why, when I think of what I give up for you, Commissioner, well...
What about you? Did you tango with Manton?
Me? I was saving myself for you.
But I don't tango. I did learn the deep dip, though.
The deep dip?
Mm-hmm.
Well, darling, I had a little something else in mind.
Tonight?
Tonight. Wait a minute. How did it feel? Taking orders from a woman.
Ooh, about the same as it feels right now.
How can you call that an order?
Oh, it's an order, all right. It just doesn't seem to be coming from you.
Have to take your pills.
Stuff them, Derek. They're not going to do me any good.
Now, don't talk that way. You are going to get well.
Want a bet? Give me a cigar.
Oh, no. Your doctor said...
My doctor is a schnook. His pills, visits, consultations, and he charges me thousands of dollars to tell me I'm dying. Now, I told him.
Max, you are not dying.
Why is everybody so upset? We're all going to die sooner or later, so what's the big deal? Give me a match. I'm going to miss these. Say, what the hey? St. Peter probably has an unlimited supply direct from Cuba. And as for my cars, they're going to be toys for a man younger than I am.
You're incredible, Max. A lot of people are never going to forget you.
And we're going to see that they don't, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. The rally course is all laid out. I have gotten clearances from all the appropriate authorities.
And now there's nothing left but for me to die.
Oh, Max!
All right. You keep forgetting how sensitive you are.
You sure you want to go through with this? I mean, the idea of 5 couples rallying to win $2 million in antique cars.
Why not? I want whoever gets them to really want them. And the guy that wants them most will do whatever he has to win them.
Yeah, and that's just what I'm afraid of.
Don't worry. You'll be there to see things go all right. And so will Stu McMillan.
Shall we have a seat, please, if you will? Thank you. We are gathered here today at his request to wish Maxwell Abbott Godspeed and a good journey. And he asked me to tell you, his closest friends, not to mourn him, but to rejoice in the knowledge that his road will be straight and smooth as he wends his way to that final pit stop in the sky. And to quote Max again, "When I take the final checkered flag, I do so knowing that I have your love and your prayers." As you know, I've been Max's friend and attorney for the past several years, but some of you know me as the rally master for the Golden State Rally Club, which is held out of Monterey. And this year's event, which begins next Thursday, will be a memorial in memory of Max. Now, some time ago, when Max knew the end was near, he began working long hours preparing a course that would challenge the best of you. So that makes this year's event very special. That and one other consideration. With Max's passing, there are only 5 charter members remaining in the Golden State Rally Club. Stu McMillan, George Nolan, Tom Wheatley, Harry Jerome, and Al Potter. Each one of you 5 has a very special reason for participating in this year's event. Now, he considered all of you dear and valued friends, but what to leave you? Money? Possessions? That which he loved most was always this museum and his prized collection of vintage cars. Therefore, while the other participants will be competing for the usual trophies, Max's will stipulates that the winner among you 5 will inherit this entire museum and every one of its priceless cars. Now, Max told me he couldn't bear to have the collection broken up, so it's a case of winner take all. And he also knew that some of you hadn't competed for some time, so he urged me to be sure that you understood the instructions and the conditions for the running of the rally. So I urge you to take one of these with you before you leave. And to each and every one of you, good luck. Thank you.
Well, that wasn't exactly your normal run-of-the-mill memorial service, was it?
Maxwell Abbott isn't your normal run-of-the-mill tycoon either.
I'm gonna miss the old guy. They sure broke the mold when they made him.
Man, he designed some kind of rally.
I don't know. It almost seems sacrilegious to be competing for these cars of his.
Look if he didn't want it, he wouldn't have put it in a will. It'd be almost sacrilegious not to compete.
Besides, children, all these old cars must be worth a couple of $1 million.
Ah, same old sentimental Harry.
Don't give me that, baby. You'd like to get your hands on those cars as much as I would.
Harry, we're here to bury Maxwell, not to appraise him.
Yeah, besides, Harry, you need another couple million like a hole in the head.
Isn't it in the will that the entire collection must remain intact?
So, when I win it, I'll sell it intact.
Yeah. That's me. Who's this? Yeah. How'd you find me? Sure, I don't mind picking up a few bucks. What do I gotta do? How much? No way. $600 minimum, and I'm gonna need a partner. Okay, 5. It's a deal. Well, shouldn't I know who you are? Okay, anything you say. Except I don't move until I got the dough. Yeah. I'll be looking for it in the mail. Hiya. Yeah, it's me. Did I wake you? Want to do a job? Good. Got some guy called me. He wants us to mess around a couple of people. Yeah. He's paying $200. That's $100 a piece. Yeah, I told him that, but he said take it or leave it. And we needed dough, so I took it. Look, if you don't want to do it, I can get somebody else. Okay, that's better. Okay, get over here first thing in the morning. We'll map it all out. All right. Goodbye.
Mildred, what about this?
Yeah, what about this?
You don't like it.
I don't like it any more than I did when you bought it 4 years ago.
What am I gonna wear? I haven't got anything to wear.
Well, what's this, chopped liver? Besides, you're gonna be in a car for 4 days. Nobody will see you from the neck down.
Mildred, there's gonna be parties, there's gonna be awards ceremonies, there's gonna be all kinds of things. I have to have 4 separate changes.
Okay, what about the blue maternity gown that shows off all your assets?
Yeah, that's at the cleaner.
No, came back yesterday.
You're kidding. Mildred! Mildred. Getting a little claustrophobic.
You know, they didn't make sexy maternity things like this when I was your age.
You never had any children anyway, Mildred.
Well, I might have if I could have sashayed around in something like this. Hey, listen, do me a favor, will you? Pack the rest of this stuff for yourself. I gotta go check dinner. The commissioner will be home in a minute.
Ah, forgot to tell you, he's gonna be late. He had to pick up our rally car.
Rally car? Hubba, hubba. What's the matter with the station wagon?
Mildred, don't you know anything? You cannot drive a station wagon in a sports car rally. It is simply not done.
I'm terribly sorry.
Men.
The secretary's gone, sir.
A few more minutes. Something the matter? You just broke the thermometer.
Sir, I promised Sue that we'd pick her up at 6:15.
Well, I've got to get these papers signed. I'm going to be gone 4 days.
Oh, well, isn't there something there that I could help you with tomorrow?
Afraid not. These all have to be signed by the commissioner. How many bullets you fire a week?
I don't know, sir. 30, maybe 40. Mainly at target practice.
You know that the price of bullets went up over 20% in the past year?
Is that a fact, sir?
If every man in the department fired 10 less bullets, that's 9,000 bullets. Let's see, that would be, well, over $1,600. Times 52 gets us to about $85,000 a year.
That's more than I make in a month, sir.
Well, I can tell you're not interested in my budgetary problems.
Oh, well, sir,
Why should you? I mean, it's the commissioner's responsibility, not yours.
You know, it must be lonely at the top, sir.
Okay, that does it.
Do you mind if I use the phone, sir?
No, go ahead.
It's a local call. Sure. Yeah, I want to call Sue and tell her that we're picking her up in about, what, 10 minutes?
I appreciate you dropping me off, sir.
Oh, don't mention it. I've told Sue so much about you that she's dying to meet... Hello, Sue. Charles here. Well, the commissioner and I are just leaving the office, so we should be there in about 10 minutes. Right. Meet you downstairs. Okay.
Charles here?
Well, she always calls me Charles. She is a very stylish woman.
Thanks, Charlie.
You want Sue and me to wait for you, Commissioner?
No, I think the car should be ready by now. Thanks anyway. Nice to meet you, Sue.
Likewise, Commissioner.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good luck, Mac.
Hello, Floyd.
Commissioner.
Looks terrific.
Looks. Where do you get on the road? Look here, quarter-inch, sheet metal all around. You won't get no holes in your gas tank, or you're all fun. Looks like you and Mr. Tanner gonna have a real smooth trip.
I'm not taking Mr. Tanner. I'm just stealing his car. I'm taking my wife. That's why I wanted you to work on it. Those roads are pretty rough in places.
Rough? You don't know rough, Commissioner. Why, in the old days, me and my dad, Floyd Sr., we used to make these deliveries in the dead of night over roads you wouldn't want to walk down, let alone drive. Makes me dry just thinking about it. You want a beer, Commissioner?
No, thank you. How much do I owe you?
$128.90.
I'll take the beer.
Sure thing.
Listen, are you sure you want to go through with this thing? Okay, how many other pregnant ladies are going to be in on this road rally?
I know I'm doing something wrong.
Could have told you that last week when you let the commissioner pledge that car collection to the Policeman's Benevolent Fund if you won.
Mildred, the Policeman's Fund is a very good cause. Besides, it would be wrong for a police commissioner to keep $2 million.
I'll keep it for him.
Mildred.
Listen, all I know is there are going to be a bunch of cars running around a bunch of back roads trying to find their way to the nearest bar.
It's really very simple. You just follow a certain course at a certain speed. Then the team with the fewest penalty points wins.
Oh, sure, it sounds simple. Turn left after the little pig. It's right on State Route 432. Reduce speed to 45 miles an hour and go 1 mile. Turn left at the dirt road at the schoolhouse.
Max says the real trick is to stay on course and not get lost, but I'd kind of like to stay on time, too.
That's how you're going to stay on time with that thing?
This and a stopwatch. Here. For instance, you're going down the highway at 60 miles an hour.
And you get a ticket. Haven't you heard they reduce the speed rate to 55 miles an hour? I think A.J. Foyt just entered the pit area downstairs. Oh, just need salt.
Now, since there's 60 minutes in 1 hour and we want to go 30 miles an hour, that's about 2 minutes per mile, right?
I don't think it's salt, it's oregano. What'd you do with the oregano?
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Mac to go 1 mile and I'll time it with the watch. That way, if we do it in less than 2 minutes, I know he's going too fast. If he does it in more than 2 minutes, we're going too slow. It's really very simple, Mildred.
If it's so simple, how come you've been sitting there since 9 o'clock this morning wearing out all those pencils?
I need practice. I'm sure I'm going to get the hang of it.
She's a beauty.
Never mind the flattery. You'll eat when it's ready.
Hello, Mildred.
Hi, Commish.
What a machine. I'd forgotten how much fun it can be driving one of those things.
Oh.
You know, when my brother was 10 years old, he got a red two-wheeler for Christmas. Had the same look in his eye.
Mildred, will you stop being such a party poop? Doesn't this give you the opportunity to go and see your sister for a few days?
I knew you'd get around to that.
Too much oregano. Harry Jerome. Until last week, I hadn't seen him in 12 years. Ever since he went to Hollywood.
Dead-end roads don't count. Dirt roads do count. Dead-end roads don't count.
You remember that terrible X-rated movie of his we saw last year?
How can I forget? You made me sit through it twice.
It only seemed like twice. He never did have much taste. Sure knows how to make a buck.
Yes. Well, imagine how much alimony he's paying now. He's on his third wife.
He can afford them, believe me.
Mac, what do you suppose made Maxwell Abbott do it?
Do what?
Well, set up the whole rally so that winner takes all.
Well, I've been thinking about that myself. You had to know Max. He lived for competition. He figured it brought the best out in everybody.
Didn't it ever occur to him that competing for $2 million might bring out the worst?
Obviously not. But I just can't believe any of us would go off the deep end over this thing.
Oh, no. Didn't you hear them bickering at the memorial service?
That's called gamesmanship.
Oh.
Don't forget the five of us rallied together for a lot of years. We used to be just about equal in ability. So you had to get an edge any way you could.
I don't know, Mac.
What's to know? You just get your charts straight and your watch wound and leave the rest to me.
Speaking of competition, I think Mildred was right. You do have a funny look in your eyes. been doing these things for years. I'm gonna get out there and make a fool out of myself.
Oh, not without help. I haven't been on one of these rallies for 9 years.
Mac, what's confusing me is one-way streets.
Why don't we talk about this in the morning?
I'm serious. I'm trying to concentrate.
So am I.
Now, if it's a one-way against you, then you don't count it. But
Sally.
if it's a one-way in the direction that you're going,
Sally.
then you do count it. Unless it's a forced turn. Now, is that right? You've got to know if that's right. You've got to know what a forced turn is. I don't even know what a forced turn is. I need practice.
So do I. Now.
What were we talking about?
I don't remember.
Neither do I. I think I hear something down in the garage.
It's the cat.
We don't have a cat.
Oh. Well, I'll look later.
Could you look now?
If somebody's down there, Mildred will get him.
That's Ned Tanner's car down there. If it were ever stolen, he'd never forgive you.
All right. But if you're asleep when I get back, I'll never forgive you. I shouldn't.
Freeze, Buster, I'll blow your head off.
It's me.
Hi, Commissioner. Gee, you had me scared. I heard somebody moving around downstairs in the garage.
It was me. Go back to bed.
Oh, really? What were you doing? Tucking away your new little car for the night?
Good night, Mildred.
Well, that's easy for you to say. You could sleep through a war. But when I'm awakened, it's very hard to get back to sleep.
Want a sandwich?
I don't know. What do you got there?
I don't know. I can't see it. Turn on the light.
No. I don't want you to see me with my rollers in.
That's very considerate of you.
I tell you what. You make yourself a sandwich, and I'll go to my room. And then when I hear you leave, I'll come out, okay?
Okay. Say, Mildred,
Yeah?
how can you possibly sleep with those things in your hair?
Carefully, Commissioner. Very carefully.
Sally, you ready? Come on, let's go. Let's hit the road.
I've just got a few more things to pack, and I'll be ready to go.
You had all week to pack.
Do you want to take the blue and white one or the yellow one?
The blue, white, or yellow what?
Never mind. I packed them both. That way you'll have a choice.
Now, look, I don't want to have to rush. I want us to just mosey along, stop, have a nice leisurely lunch.
I know. I'm ready. You take the green one, the beige one, and the red one, and I'll take this one.
What happened to women's lip?
I'll get the door.
Sport.
Oh.
Sally?
Mac, now you know what you can get us for our next anniversary.
There
Instead
isn't
of
going to be an
luggage.
anniversary if you don't get that thing repacked.
Well, you're getting upset.
No, I am not getting upset. I'm already there on my way to being furious.
Oh, now, Mac, I have to wear something. Besides, I got a lot of really neat new dresses.
Well, how are we supposed to fit all of this stuff into that car?
Well, let's leave the brown one at home. We can do without that.
Right. The brown one has my stuff in it.
Well, you know you always overpack for an occasion.
Gee, it's too bad you tried to move this thing. It sounded great standing still. It's getting late, Commissioner. If you're taking its temperature, forget it. I think it's dead.
Commissioner, you've been fiddling, making a few adjustments.
Never touched it.
Beats me. Boy, I'm hot.
Would you like a beer, Floyd?
I love that, Commissioner.
128.90.
I'm a son of a gun. Sugar.
Sugar?
Looks like someone's having a little joke on you, Commissioner.
A joke?
Sugar in the gas line clogs up the engine.
Well, I don't think that's very funny.
No.
Well, you better call the tow truck.
How long will it take to fix it?
Tomorrow, late in the day.
Oh.
Tomorrow? We have to be in Monterey this afternoon. Registration at 3 o'clock. First car goes out tomorrow morning at 7:01.
I'll call my sister.
Wait a minute, Mildred. Wait a minute. Mac, do we have to drive a sports car in the rally?
Oh, Sally.
Well, why couldn't we drive the station wagon?
Station wagon in a sports car rally?
Raising your voice.
I am not raising my voice.
Commissioner, what about your wife's OMG over there?
Oh, that old thing. I doubt if it would make it. It's got a broken shock. All 4 tires are bald.
It ain't pretty, but I could fix it up so to get you there and back home again. You can have it for
128.90. Well, there's no way we're going to get this one in. It's as simple as that.
You can't leave that one behind, Mac, because it's got a lot of very important things in it.
What, for example?
Well, for example, it's got your underwear.
Oh, well, something's got to give.
Just take those out, will you? Put them on the ground. Now,
What are you going to do?
I'm simply going to take the contents of suitcase number 4 and redistribute it among the contents of suitcases number 1, 2, and 3.
It's a simple law of physics that you can't diminish volume by rearranging mass.
I never heard of that law.
You never took physics.
Nonetheless, it's canceled out by my law.
Which is?
Which is I never wear the same outfit twice on a road rally. Now, just close this one up, and then close that one up. Put them in the car, and we'll be on our way.
It won't close.
You haven't even tried.
You're going to have to sit on this one.
I can't sit on that one. If I sit on it, the wind will ruin my hair.
To close it.
Oh.
There.
Mac, I thought you said that Floyd put in new shocks.
He did. Right in the glove compartment.
Ah. Are your legs okay?
Oh, they're fine. They don't make them like this anymore.
I can see why. I still say that we should have brought that red suitcase.
This is not a fashion show.
Just because you don't care what you wear. I mean, that hat, that must be 10 years old.
20. Won in my first rally. Use it as a good luck charm.
You couldn't have dry cleaned it?
I did.
Oh. Come on, Mac, get the luggage. I'm dying for a shower.
You'll have to take one for me.
Why?
I'm stuck.
What?
My legs won't move.
Did they fall asleep?
No, they're wide awake.
Come on, take my hand.
It's gonna
Ready?
hurt.
No, it won't. There, how'd that feel?
I was right. It hurt.
Oh.
Commissioner, Mrs. McMillan, you all right?
Hi.
Of course I'm all right.
Aren't you supposed to be competing in a Corvette?
It's too long a story. Everyone here?
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't miss this one. A lot more at stake this time than the usual trophy.
I know. Maybe too much.
Do you know that somebody put sugar in our gas line of our Corvette?
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Well, I think we can expect a little gamesmanship, but it won't be anything serious.
I hope you're right.
Oh, by the way, Louise and George Nolan are in 126, and I believe the message for you and Mrs. McMillan was, the party won't start till you come through the door. Hurry.
Right. Never ignore a party in distress.
Killing me. I'm gonna drive 1,000 miles in the next 4 days.
$2 million, Harry. That's how.
Here, make yourself useful.
That's what I love about you, Harry. You're so gallant.
Tom! Della!
Harry!
Tell Mary they got the same old shag.
You better believe it. Harry, you look just dreadful.
Not half as dreadful as you're gonna look when we win this rally. Della, you look marvelous.
Ah, don't flatter me, Harry. I'm still going to tell you what I thought about that last picture of yours.
Oh, spare me. Oh, you guys didn't get a chance to meet my wife at the memorial service. Tom Weekly, my favorite heart surgeon. Della, my wife, Gwyneth.
Hi.
Glad to meet you. Listen, why don't we go in and join the party?
The ball and chain here is a little tired. How about a rain check till tonight?
Okay, 6-ish.
You're on, you're on.
Nice to meet you. I'll say one thing about Harry. Time certainly hasn't dimmed his eye for talent.
Yeah, the names changed, but the faces all seem the same. What wife is that? Third, fourth?
With Harry, who counts?
Have you seen my pills?
I put them in the small red suitcase. I didn't think you'd need them so quickly.
Who is the doctor around here?
Tom, these rallies are supposed to be fun.
Not this one, kiddo.
Then why did we come?
Because if I lose that malpractice suit, even with the insurance, we'll be in hock up to my stethoscope. So Max Abbott's little games have become quite a bit more than that.
We were gonna shoot in Marrakesh, but the guy in charge, some two-bit sultan, he's got his hand out. So I says to my unit manager, pay the $2. And he says to me, he doesn't want money, he wants Sandra D. Well, the guy's crazy. No way I could give him Sandra D even if I wanted to. But no Sandra D, no picture. Seems this guy's got all her old pictures in his palace and he runs them over and over again.
Harry, would you get me a drink?
Will you pipe down? I haven't finished my story yet.
You can say that again.
Hey, Copper, let me buy you a beer.
No, thanks, Al. Seen Sally? We're all gonna meet later on for a drink, aren't we?
Oh, no. Maggie and I are going to turn in early. Want to be on our toes for tomorrow.
You really want those cars, don't you?
No, that isn't what I really want. The truth is, it looks like maybe, just maybe, I'll be coaching Big Ten football next month.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah, 10 years coaching high school kids. It's been a long time coming. I know Maggie'd love to win that thing tomorrow, but I don't know. All that money, it scares me.
Yeah, well, don't get too scared.
Now, the pace car, probably the rally master, drops one of these sacks of flour at the intersection.
Right, and you can't miss it because it makes quite a mess.
Well, how do you know which direction to turn?
Ah, that's just it. Now, he drops another sack about 200 yards up one of the roads. Now the guessing game starts. You drive to the right. If there's no flour, you try left, or straight ahead until you come across another flour mark.
Mac, the last day sounds terrific. George has just been telling us all about the hare and the hounds.
Oh, those little bags of flour. They're bringing that back again.
Oh, that's for us old-timers. It's quite a thrill, you know.
Hello, Della.
Where's Tom?
Hi. Oh, he's complaining to the rally master.
What about?
Well, when we came out this morning, we found our distributor cap filled with modeling clay.
Well, now, that is strange. When I came out to pack up the car, all 4 of my tires had been slashed. I thought it had been one of the neighborhood kids.
Mac?
They put sugar in our gas tank.
Mac, you know, Tom seems to think it may be Al Potter.
Oh.
Up to some of his old practical jokes again.
No, Del, I don't think so. I mean, I think Al's outgrown that sort of thing.
Excuse me.
It was really terrible, Derek. We're here for a
I
good
know,
time,
just
right?
take it
well, you
easy.
better find out who it is before I do.
Trouble, huh?
Well, it appears we have a practical joker in our midst.
So I hear. You know, a rally for just a trophy is one thing, but a prize worth over a couple of million.
I know. I tried to talk Mr. Abbott out of it, but no, he wouldn't listen.
Well, it's not too late to call it off.
Why, just because somebody's trying to scare off the competition? No, Commissioner, I can't do that. You know the rules. No protests, no time allowances. Press on regardless. Winner take all. Excuse me. Yes?
This Derek Quigley.
Yes?
There's a bomb planted in the room. It's gonna go off in exactly 4 minutes.
What? Who is this?
Clear out the room, Quigley. You've got less than 4 minutes before the bomb goes off. Now don't say you weren't warned.
All right, everybody, the party's moving outside by the pool area. Champagne for everybody on the house. Let's go. Yeah.
Champagne, huh? Well, now that's more like it. Seems the club has acquired a little class in the past 20 years.
What's going on, Mac?
Sally, I'll meet you outside.
Something wrong?
Tom, take Sally outside, will you?
Is something
Now
wrong?
move.
Did you find anything yet?
No, look by the bar. Here it is.
What?
Looks like this rally's gonna be a real stinker, folks.
Where's Al Potter?
You think this was his work?
Who else?
Excuse me?
What are you doing?
With all of these pranks, or whatever you would like to call them, going on, I just want to make sure that nobody planted a stink bomb in our room.
You're really nervous, aren't you? You want to quit?
Of course not. I'm sure it's all just a joke, right?
Well, it might not have been a joke.
You think so?
I just don't know.
I thought you said that this kind of thing used to go on all the time in car rallies.
True. But there was never $2 million at stake.
Well, I can't believe that whoever planted that bomb actually thought that he could scare people off.
More to the point, it gets everybody nervous. They start thinking about their safety and upsets their concentration. In a car rally, that can be a critical edge.
Is it possible that these pranks could be some sort of a cover-up for something more dangerous later on?
Well, that's possible.
Is there anything that you can do about it, Matt?
Well, I'll talk to Derek, but I doubt if it would do any good.
You're the commissioner. Why can't you just call the rally off?
I don't have any jurisdiction here. And even if I could, it'd be a little premature. We're just gonna have to be on the ball and keep an eye on everyone.
If you had to guess right now who was behind it, who would you say?
Well, it would be difficult to guess. I've never been really close to any of them. With the exception of Al Potter, none of them actually need the money.
Who doesn't need $2 million?
That's interesting.
What?
The question, who doesn't need $2 million? Because if you turn it around, the question becomes, who does need $2 million?
Well, that's easy. Everybody.
No. Everybody wants $2 million. There's a great deal of difference between wanting it and needing it. Why don't you nose around a little bit? Talk to the wives, see what you can find out. If we can find somebody who actually needs the money, we might find our culprit.
Good night.
Mileage 00?
Zero mileage. Left out of parking lot at 7 o'clock, plus car number and minutes. Now take 30 minutes to reach instruction 19.
Okay, all set to go.
The gremlins don't give us any more trouble, Derek.
Oh, I think all that business is out of the way.
I sure
If you
hope
want a time check, we're coming up on 30 seconds.
30 seconds, okay.
Isn't Harry Jerome a little old for his wife?
Isn't that what your mother keeps saying about me?
Mark.
Thank you.
Morning.
Morning.
All set? Right.
Got the instructions, Sally?
Right here. Whoops, 2. Where's page 1?
What's the first instruction?
I don't know. Hang on a second.
I think you better check your timepiece. It looks to be 6 seconds slow.
What?
Somebody's mixed up all my pages.
thought you checked his watch.
I did last night.
What's the next instruction?
Oh, right here. No, 6, 7. Wait a minute. Hang on there.
You better zero your mileage counter.
Oh, yeah. Let me see that watch.
Out in 5 seconds.
Well, I got it. Page 1. Left out of the parking lot onto State Route 321.
You're off. What'd you say, man?
Right.
Don't say right when you mean left.
I didn't say right. I said left.
Say correct.
Mac, how can I say correct when you were going the wrong way?
How am I doing?
Well, I think you're a little fast.
How fast?
Maybe 5 seconds. Have you seen that wishing well yet?
Nope. I wonder who it was.
Who what was?
Whoever was on the phone last night.
Mac, you're supposed to be looking for a wishing well.
Oh, that was it.
What?
The wishing well. Which way?
I didn't see it.
Nevertheless. Which way?
Bear right after the wishing well.
Right.
Just like this.
Next.
Right after a sign that reads swimming club.
You see it?
No, Mac, it's all happening too fast.
You're doing just great. Keep your eyes peeled.
You get the white one, right?
Right. Hey, your folks did just fine here. Only 3 points.
3?
That's right. Looks like he didn't fall for that billboard back to the last turn.
Billboard?
Sure. The one that said swim club, not swimming club. That fooled a lot of them. You two are pretty sharp.
That's us. Sharp. We got a 3. Re-zero your counters. Come on. This is gonna be fun. Ready? Go. Construction to the right. Continue straight ahead.
Got it.
You sure about the speed?
41 miles per hour.
That seems pretty fast for a road like this.
Maybe it opens up down here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're down about 20 seconds.
So after I married Harry, he wouldn't let me do any more movies. So that's why I'm divorcing him.
I thought I read that somewhere.
I mean, this man works 18 hours a day, so fine. But I need a life of my own, too. Do you know what I mean?
If you filed suit for divorce, why did you come out on this
Oh,
rally
come on,
with
look,
him?
I know Harry, and he's going to try to soft-soap me out of a divorce. But he bought this car especially for the rally. So I figure after it's over, I get to keep the car, right? Oh. It's a nice car, don't you think?
Very.
What do you think takes him so long to get gas?
I don't know.
Mac, what is going on around here?
What's the matter, George?
Instruction 54. They moved the sign on me.
Well, it was okay for us.
Yes, that's just the point. After we went up the road, they moved the sign back.
Oh, come on, George.
I know what I'm talking about, Al, and damn it, we could have been killed. Where were you 20 minutes ago?
Now, George, just a minute.
I'll tell you where we were 20 minutes ago. We were down the road running this rally the way it's supposed to be run. 49 points for 7 checkpoints. I'll tell you something, pal. You don't get that kind of score changing signs down the road. So whatever you're thinking, you can forget it.
Oh, Louise, that's awful. Mac and I aren't doing very well, but we haven't had anything like that happen.
I'll tell you, George is not imagining those things. That sign was moved.
Who was the last one to get here?
We did a couple of minutes ago.
How'd you miss them, George?
Miss what?
Spikes and nails all across the road up there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're down, huh? It's a damn good thing I know how to drive, or I'd be halfway down that cliff by now. I'm getting tired of this, Mac. Somebody around here must want those cars pretty bad. Maybe it's our practical joker friend here, Mr. Potter.
Hey, if you can't handle it, why don't you pull out of the rally?
I didn't say anything about quitting, but I promise you this. If I find the clown who's pulling these stunts, he's going to be one sorry guy. I don't care how big he is.
Of course I know what's going on, and I'd love nothing better than to catch whoever's behind
Someone
it.
might get killed if you don't call off this rally.
Mac, there are only 5 people competing for Max's collection, but none of the other people have had any problems at all. Now, if one of you 5 wants to quit, that's fine. But I don't think it's fair to penalize the entire rally.
Anyway, Mac, you heard them this afternoon. They're all angry, but they're not scared. I, on the other hand, I'm not angry, but I am scared.
I'll talk to them, Mac. But if they won't listen to you, they're sure not going to listen to me.
I think the whole problem is it's an ego thing. Nobody wants to be the first one to quit. Why don't we withdraw? Maybe the other ones will, too.
There's too much money at stake. And if they're going to go on, we better go on, too. At least we can stop it from getting worse, maybe.
How? You can't be everywhere at once. Besides, any one of the 5 of them could be behind the accidents.
Any of the 4.
5. George Nolan, Al Potter, Tom Wheatley, Harry Jerome, and you. You're right, 4.
Anyway, I've got a call in to Enright.
And I want a shower for dinner.
Is that all? Ha! I want a steak.
Ooh, was that a good dinner, but am I stumped?
I think we ought to turn in. We have a big day tomorrow.
Would it disturb you a lot if I were to stay up and watch a movie on TV? I can't sleep on a full stomach.
Lie on your back. Sally, where are the towels?
Oh, they're in the suitcase.
What are they doing in the suitcase?
Well, we needed some at home, so I just thought I'd...
Sally, you're a police commissioner's wife.
Oh, don't be such a cop. Everybody pinches a towel now and then. Besides, it's not really stealing.
Sally. Hello? Yes, this is E. What? I see. All right, thank you. Sally? Where's your wallet?
In the wastebasket under some tissues.
Oh, what's it doing in the wastebasket?
Well, that's where I always put it. That way, if anybody breaks in, they won't steal it. Thanks for reminding me. It's gone. My wallet is gone. My credit cards and all my money and my cash and everything.
They have it downstairs at the desk.
Aha! Did they find who stole it?
The maid came in, turned down the bed, emptied the wastebasket. The desk clerk said he'd hold it for ransom until you returned the towels.
Well, would you be a dear and go down and get it for me?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have to put up the top anyway. And I want to check the stopwatches.
Mac? What are you trying for, a New World's record?
Well, I just want to get it set for tomorrow morning's panic.
Oh.
Unless you want to make it a challenge.
You're the one that wanted to go to bed early.
You know I can never sleep on a full stomach.
get away, Mac?
Did who get away?
Oh, man, I followed you from your room. Did you see who it was?
No. Nice, isn't it? What was meant to be a rally turned out to be a demolition derby. Plastic explosives. Is that your husband, Maggie?
I don't know.
I've known Al a long time. Well, at least long enough to know that he was an explosives expert in the Army.
I'm so scared for him, Mac. He wants to win so badly.
Why? Why would he take the risk of getting caught? Just when he's on the verge of the biggest break of his life.
The Big Ten coaching job.
Yeah, he told me about it the other night.
It is just not so. There is a boy on Al's team, Mark Shea. Now, Al's kind of been bringing him along, and the kid is just terrific. 20 colleges must be after him. But Al has got himself believing that Mark won't go anyplace unless Al goes with him. Mac, he is a high school football coach, and that is all he will ever be.
What's wrong with that?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, nothing. I've told him I love him, whatever. But I'm terrified he's going to do something desperate to prove himself in front of all of you.
Peggy? What's going on?
Oh, Mac and I were just talking.
Talking about what?
Take a look, Al. Somebody left me a nice little present.
Meaning me, right, Mac? Look, I know what everyone's thinking. 5 of us competing for Mac Abbott's museum. Big-time lawyer, famous heart surgeon, Hollywood motion picture producer, you, and then there's me. Al Potter, high school football coach.
Nobody's accusing
Well, you don't have to. Sure, I'd like to win those cars tomorrow. Who wouldn't? But like I told you, that's not what I really want. I get a chance to be a big-time football coach.
Oh, Al, please.
Besides, if I was going to sabotage someone's car, it sure wouldn't be yours. Out of the 5 of us, you and Sally are dead last.
I don't mind last, but I do mind dead.
Well, I didn't do it, Mac. You gotta believe that.
There's no life for us out there. We have no tomorrows, only yesterdays. Bittersweet yesterdays.
I'll go to Charles. I'll tell him.
Tell him what? That Billy's not really his son? That I'm not really your brother? That you're not really the daughter of Oliver Thornbrook?
Hi, Mac. I'm watching the best movie. It's terrible.
Yes, operator, this is Mr. McMillan. Would you replace that call to San Francisco, please? Sally, turn that off. And if Mr. Enright isn't there, would you try his home again, please? Thank you.
What is it, Mac?
You're better off not knowing.
That bad?
Don't ask.
Don't tell me. Tell me.
Somebody did a little maintenance work on our engine. It's plastic explosive.
Why did you tell me? Do you mean that someone's trying to kill us?
I don't think so. Not enough explosive for that. Just enough to blow up the engine and keep us out of the rally. Hello? Yes, thank you.
Charlie?
Commissioner?
I've been trying to get a hold of you for a couple of hours. You don't sound very awake.
I just got off. 22 hours straight.
With Sue? She seems like such a delicate girl.
22 hours straight duty, sir.
Oh. Well, you're back on. I want you to come down to the Seven Palms Inn in Monteverde. Identify yourself with the manager and then be ready for when the rally cars come in tomorrow afternoon.
Ready for what, sir?
Well, I'm not sure, but I want you undercover. This rally's gotten out of hand. There's been a few accidents, so I want you to hang around, keep your eyes and ears open, and see what you can find out. And don't let anybody know you're a cop.
Right, sir. Hello, Sue. Charles here. I know it's late, but I wouldn't call you unless it was very, very important. Listen, Sue, I have to break our date tomorrow night. No, it can't be helped. You see, the Mac wants me to join him on the rally immediately. Well, I can't tell you exactly what it's about, but I can tell you that it's undercover. Well, I know, my dearest. I feel exactly the same way. Well, I told you the life wasn't easy. You know, it's like being a doctor. You're on call 24 hours a day. Yeah. Well, the only difference is that we make house calls. No, I don't know how long it's going to be or how long I'll be gone, but, well, I'll be thinking about you the entire time. Well, sure, I'll call you from up there. Huh? You what? You promise? Yeah, well, I'll give you a call the moment I get back. Sue, you know, I haven't said this to very many women in my life, but you satisfy something very deep inside me. Yeah. Me too. Bye.
Are you sure you don't want me to keep time?
No, let's just stay on course and watch. What instruction are we working on?
We're working on right at a yellow bell. Isn't that the Wheatleys up there?
And right on time, I'd say. What's the speed? 31 miles an hour.
Right. I mean, correct.
Ha ha ha. Isn't the next instruction right at the yellow bell?
Uh-huh. I guess the Wheatleys didn't see it.
They'd have to be blind to miss that sign.
Everybody can make mistakes.
Not Tom Wheatley. Not that kind of mistake.
Be careful, Tom.
What is it we're looking for again? Left at a schoolhouse?
I didn't see it.
You all right, kiddo? Huh?
I think so.
What happened?
Just our luck. In first place by 300 points, and now this.
Luck had nothing to do with it.
Well, I should have known there was no schoolhouse down this cow path.
Schoolhouse?
Anybody hurt?
Nah, we're all right. We're all right.
Did you see who it was, Mac?
No, just the back of their helmets.
Well, take a look at this. This is the Wheatley's instruction sheet. Something's missing.
The right at the yellow bell. Somebody's been doctoring these instructions.
Do you think that somebody could have paid those motorcyclists to sabotage the rally?
Could be.
Mac, I was talking to Della Wheatley, and she told me to promise not to breathe a word of this. But it seems that she and Tom are in serious financial trouble.
You just did.
What?
Breathed a word of it.
Oh, just to you.
Well.
Anyway, about 3 weeks ago, Tom was operating on this man. Tom had been up for about 40 hours straight, and he was dropping a lot of pills to stay awake. Della says he's been doing a lot of that lately.
He lost him?
The man would have died anyway. Everybody knew that. It's just in this case, the patient's brother went wild.
Lawsuit?
Millions. Even with the insurance, if Tom loses, it could wipe them out.
Which gives him extra incentive to win the rally.
That's what I thought.
Except for one thing. Why would the front runner sabotage his own car?
They're in luck. We'll get him out easily. It's nothing too serious.
Look, Derek, this rally's gone far enough.
Commissioner, we've been
the
through all
Wheatleys
this.
could have been killed.
My hands are tied. I've spoken to all of them separately. None of them will quit. And after all, it's their choice.
All right. Let's have a committee car follow each one of the 5 cars tomorrow.
I think we can handle that.
Maybe about a quarter of a mile back, just in case.
Right.
And let's keep the 5 cars separated tonight. Put a watch on them. I may know someone who can help us out.
All right.
Let me get the window for you, sir.
I think everybody heard you, Sergeant. Your disguise is magnificent.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. Mrs. McMillan?
Sergeant, you look awful tired.
Yeah, well, I am a little bit. Do you mind if I sit down, sir?
No, go ahead.
I mean, I've been toting bags ever since 2 o'clock, and frankly, I have had it. I only made about $4. It's a pretty tough way to make a living.
Were you able to find anything out?
Not much. Oh, there's an awful lot of griping going on. You know, the sort of thing that you told me about on the telephone.
There are a couple of guys on motorcycles who set up an accident this morning, but by the time I saw them, they... Enright.
Sir?
Why don't you get some sleep? I'm going to need you tonight to watch the parking
sir,
lot.
I'm fine, sir.
Sergeant, how about a cup of coffee?
No, thanks, Mrs. McMillan. I mean, if I could just lie down for a couple of minutes, I'll be fine by this evening.
You don't have a room, do you? Well, why don't you take this bed? Give us 10 minutes to freshen up and get out of here, and then sleep here.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll wait for you downstairs. Oh. Don't worry about this evening, sir. I mean, I'll be fine after a couple hours sleep. I'll watch the parking lot like a hawk.
Coming. Enright? Morning, Hawk. Anything stirring?
No, not even a mouse. Good morning, Mrs. McMillan.
Hello, Sergeant.
Sir, no one's come near those cars all night. Except for Mr. Quigley, the rally master. He just wanted to check how I was doing.
All right. Drive down to Barclays Inn in Casa Marina. But first get some rest.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, Sergeant. Well, we're off.
Mm-hmm.
They're the Nolans. Hi.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Sally.
Morning, Mac. Sally. Well, cars are still here. It's a good sign now, isn't it?
George, I wish I could convince you all to stay off the road today.
Don't you think you're making too much out of these little incidents?
They're not incidents. Somebody might get seriously hurt, even killed.
All right, Mac, let's put it on the table, shall we? Because of one little disaster the first day and on the Wheatley's accident yesterday, Harry and Gwyneth are in first place by several hundred points. I do not expect them to remain there. Harry doesn't rally well enough for that.
The cars can't mean that much to you.
On the contrary, Sally, they mean everything to me. I've been subpoenaed to testify against a senior partner in my law firm. I become what is known as a pariah in legal circles. The fact remains that I haven't had a case in 6 months. My savings are gone. I'm in imminent danger of losing everything. But if I can win this race...
Is it worth risking your life?
Mac, I can handle myself. I have every intention of finishing this race and winning it. And nobody is going to stop me. Well, now, if you will excuse us, I believe we're due up on the line.
Bye, Mac.
Bye, Louise.
Sure. It's nice and quiet. Any trouble? Well, there's always a few that get lost, but if you mean any more trouble, we haven't heard of any.
Hi.
32 minutes and 19 seconds.
How's it going? Well, we haven't been run off the road yet.
Better than that. 11 points through 6 checkpoints. How's that?
And a 0 on this one.
Well, we'll be way out in front by the end of the day. Harry and the others don't have a prayer.
You know what your trouble is, Mac? You think cop 24 hours a day. You're expecting trouble around every little corner.
Car, coming fast.
Mac, I'll call an ambulance.
Can't get her out!
Well, had to happen, I guess. All these fool people racing around the county. She's a pretty young thing.
My fault, Mac. All my fault. If I hadn't been trying to make up time, I could have handled it.
You said you had no brakes.
They just went. I hit the pedal and nothing.
Who was following you in the committee car?
I was. Just like he says. He was picking up speed going down that downgrade. I could hardly keep up with him.
I still think if I hadn't been trying to make up time and going a little slow, I could have handled that curve.
Was the car ever out of your sight?
No. Well, except when we stopped for lunch back at that hamburger stand in Centinela.
And you didn't watch the car?
Well, there was so many people there, I didn't think.
Harry, I'm very sorry.
Are you, George?
I don't understand it, Sally. We had these cars under surveillance last night, today, now this.
Well, they wouldn't listen to you, Mac. You did everything you could to try and stop them.
Yeah.
Sheriff, these people are staying overnight down there at Barclays.
Barclays, huh? All right, get on over there and tell whoever's in charge I'll be coming down and putting a stop to
Sheriff,
these shenanigans.
don't you think you ought to take a look at that car before they tow it away?
Well, them little cars all look alike to me. Good looking thing, but I wouldn't be caught driving one myself.
I thought you might want to look at the brake line. Sally, why don't you go on in and keep your ears open? You might pick up something.
What are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to stick with the sheriff.
Do you think you can handle this, man?
Oh, he's a lot smarter than he lets on.
Hey, Sheriff. I think we got that fellow that's been causing all the accidents.
Where is he?
Was in the manager's office. I guess spotted him.
Enright.
Commissioner, am I glad to see you?
You two know each other? Well, what does he mean, Commissioner?
Sheriff, may I present Stuart McMillan, Commissioner of the San Francisco Police? I work for him.
Oh, that McMillan. Now, why didn't you say so?
Well, I don't have any jurisdiction here, Sheriff, so I...
Well, that's true, but Corvallis County is always happy to cooperate with law enforcement people, whatever the circumstances.
Someone want me?
You in charge here, son?
Yes, I'm Derek Quigley. I'm the rally master.
Well, you're not mastering anything for a while. This rally stops right here and now until me and my deputy can find out what's going on.
Just a minute, Sheriff.
You? Just a minute, son. Now, I'm confining everyone to this motel until we have a chance to question everybody. Now, we're friendly folks here at Corvallis, but we know our job. Big city or small town, it's all the same, huh, Commissioner?
Charlie, tell me something.
About what, sir?
How in the world did you manage to get yourself arrested?
I don't know. It was a humiliating experience, I can tell you. I was just catching a few Z's.
What?
Z's, sir. Sleep.
Oh.
Shut-eye. Anyway, I was in the lobby, and all of a sudden this deputy wakes me up and asks for my identification. Well, naturally, I wasn't carrying any, being undercover and all. And the next thing I know, he's got the cuffs on me, and he tells me that I look about as much like a bellhop as his mother-in-law.
You should have told him to call me.
Well, I didn't want to blow my cover, sir.
I think he was wrong.
About what?
Well, except for the circles under your eyes, you look very much like a bellhop.
Thank you, sir.
Come on in.
Hi, Mr. McMillan. You know, Commissioner, everybody had lunch at that hamburger spot. The Potters, the Nolans, and the Wheatleys. So any one of them could have gotten to that Datsun. But if you ask my opinion, there were just too many people around.
You know, I just can't believe that any of them would be capable of murder.
$2 million is a lot of motive, sir.
Yes, but for whom? Sally, what's up?
Al Potter, for one. Of them all, he makes the least amount of money. And that bomb that was planted in your car?
No. They're all broke, with the exception of Harry Jerome.
Mac, it says here in this magazine
Just a minute, Sally. For instance, George Nolan is broke.
Well, you'd never know it from the car he drives.
All the more reason why he's desperate to win.
And Tom Wheatley?
Fellas,
Yeah, well, he's your
guys,
type.
hey.
Hey, maybe it's none of them, sir.
What?
Well, none of the men, that is. But have you ever considered that it could be one of the wives?
Mac?
That's interesting.
Mac?
Frankly, I hadn't.
Mac?
I'm sorry, Sally. What is it?
Mac, I've been reading here in this magazine. They've got pictures and everything.
Shh. What is it, sir?
Let's go, Charlie. Sally, call the sheriff. Have him seal off the whole motel area. Keep everybody out.
Sir, you've got the hearing of a cat.
Operator, this is Mrs. McMillan. Can you get me Sheriff Faraday? It's an emergency.
Hold it. Split. Enright, over here. All right, that's far enough.
All right. I just want to get out of here, mister, that's all. I don't want to have to hurt you.
Ow! Oh, pardon me, miss.
Come on now. I just want to get out of here.
All right, you're a tough guy. Just quit trying to break my arm.
Joe Smith, huh? I guess you must be Jane Doe.
Here's his ID, Sheriff. His name is Joseph Smith.
That's so, huh? What's your name, young lady?
Golden Meyer.
That's not going to help.
It's Bessie Long.
Listen, Sheriff, you want to toss us in your jail for a few days, go ahead. Me and Bessie been busted before. Ain't nothing new.
Few days, huh? First-degree murder is worth a lot more than a few days.
Murder?
Mm-hmm. Girl was killed on a rally this morning. Looks like somebody cut the brake line on a car.
Well, don't look at us. We don't know nothing about that.
You've been causing a lot of trouble.
Oh, joke, sure. But cutting a brake line? Not us, brother.
Why don't you tell us about it, son?
Nothing to tell. Some guy paid us $500 to run around changing the signs and covering up the clues so there'd be trouble in the rally for some of the cars.
Who was the guy?
Some guy, that's all. I never saw him. He gave me a call about a week ago. Mailed me $250. And he said the rest would follow after the rally was over.
How did the money come? Cash?
Yeah, he never gave me his name and I never asked. Listen, mister, for $500, I don't mind playing some stunts. But I never cut nobody's brake line.
Sure.
I just got a call from the hospital. That woman's husband's down there trying to claim the body. Now, doctor won't let the body go, Sheriff. And this fella, Jerome, he's raising all sorts of hell.
All right, I'll talk to her. Culpepper, take these two down to my office and hold them till morning for Judge Tuttle.
Sheriff, would you mind if Sergeant Enright and I went down with you?
I was hoping you'd ask.
Mac, am I glad to see you. Can you talk some sense into these people?
Easy, Harry.
We'd like to oblige you, Mr. Jerome.
You can oblige me by letting me take my wife back to Los Angeles for a proper burial. Mac, they're talking about an autopsy.
That's the law, Mr. Jerome. Anytime we get involved in a violent death.
You took out life insurance on Gwyneth, didn't you, Harry?
Yes, as a matter of fact, Gwyneth insisted on it for both of us. Well, what's that got to do?
Well, you wouldn't want any trouble with the insurance company, now would you?
Well, frankly, I hadn't thought about it. I just wanted to get out of here. But I suppose you're right. Call it off, Mac, before somebody else gets hurt. It's not worth it.
I think it already has been called off, courtesy of the Caballos County Sheriff's Office.
Well, I don't know how they're going to resolve it. About Max's collection, I mean. But for the record, count me out. Let the others fight over it.
Mr. Jerome, would you come with me just for a minute, please?
That was quick thinking about an insurance policy, sir. Most men don't insure their wives.
It's just an educated guess, Charlie. Before Harry Jerome became a producer, he made his first million in the insurance business. Well, he even told me he insured all his wives.
Come on in. Hi, Mac. Hi, Sergeant. How did you do? How'd it go?
Well, we caught the cyclists, and they denied having anything to do with Gwyneth's death. What are you reading?
This? Movie Town Confidential, of course.
Well, it gladdens my heart to know that you're forever trying to improve your mind.
Don't be such a snob. There's a wealth of information for the discerning reader.
Like what, for example?
For example, the last time I was at the beauty parlor, I skimmed it and something stuck in my mind. So I went downstairs to the Motel Beauty Parlor, which is right off the lobby, and guess what? They had the very same magazine. Do you know that every beauty parlor that I have ever been in carries the same magazines?
Doesn't say very much for the habitués of beauty parlors, does it?
Well, it doesn't. Listen to this. Well, Gwyneth O'Gara fans, it's official. After 3 years of on-again, off-again marital bliss with thrice-divorced producer Harry Jerome, Gwyneth will officially become Jerome's fourth ex-wife sometime next July. Welcome back, Gwen. We've missed you.
They knew they were getting a divorce.
Will you wait a minute? I'm coming to the best part. Now I lost my place. Incidentally, Gwen's not quite the dumb bunny she's made to play on the screen. And the proof is in the property settlement, which she engineered before saying I do. Up again, down again, Jerome may find his precarious financial empire, crumbling at his feet if Gwen holds him to the letter of his agreement.
Mrs. McMillan, Harry Jerome's got so much money, he doesn't know how to spend it all. Haven't you read about those parties on his yacht?
That's just the point, Sergeant. No matter how much he has, the way he spends it, there's got to be a bottom to that well someplace.
You think that he hired those two kids?
Well, if he really was broke. He has to make sure that he wins Max Abbott's collection.
Well, why would he sabotage his own car? I mean, he was ahead. He stood to win $2 million.
You're too logical, Sergeant.
Charlie, do you remember that case where the rich old lady's doctor caught the butler trying to steal $1 million necklace?
Yes, sir. I think so. He shot and killed the butler trying to escape, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Look, I want you to go down to L.A. now.
I might fall asleep at the wheel, sir.
Well, take a bus. This bus is running all night long. I want you to check on a company. Net worth, cash on hand, assets.
Maybe you can get some sleep on that bus, Sergeant.
I'll drive you down to the terminal.
I'll pack my bags and meet you in the lobby.
Fine.
What is it, Mac?
Something bothers me.
What?
You know that case I was talking about? The case about the jewels?
The murdered butler?
Mm-hmm. Well, it turned out that the butler didn't want the jewels after all. The doctor just made it look that way so that he could kill the butler and then use the jewel robbery as a diversion.
Are you saying that these accidents could be just a diversion? That the real intent was to murder Gwyneth all along?
Well, maybe. If Harry faced a huge community property settlement, now he not only saves all that money, but he gets a nice, fat, possibly double indemnity insurance payoff as well.
Even if you could prove that those kids cut Harry's brake line, how could you prove that Harry hired them to do it?
I'm guessing. I just don't think those two kids did it.
Who did it?
I'll let you know in the morning.
Nothing like an early morning swim.
Yeah, I've been there.
Exactly where did that car go off the road yesterday?
Right about there.
Commissioner, I don't mind helping out, but I'd kind of like to know what's going on.
I'm trying to prove that an accident was really a premeditated murder. You know the brake line on Harry Jerome's car was cut.
Yeah, we sure have had a lot of accidents.
But it was cut completely through. Now, if it were cut completely through, he wouldn't have been able to control the car on the road at all.
Yes, but then how...
I think it was cut after the car hit the water, and I think there's something on the lake bottom to prove it, like a knife or something.
But the only ones out there were you and Mr. Nolan.
And Harry. He kept diving to save Gwyneth. I don't believe that. He was diving down to cut the line. Anyway, I'm going to find out. I think it's about here.
I think so.
Call the sheriff.
Right.
Get an APB out on that truck.
all right?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm fine. What do you think? Can I wear it to the party tonight?
Oh, sure. Got a little bit too much makeup on, that's all. Home at last.
Good to be back. You know, I'm going to cherish this trophy for as long as I live. I never had a trophy like this before.
Is it possible that these suitcases are heavier than when we left?
How much heavier could they be? Washcloths and towels don't weigh very much.
You're a kleptomaniac.
You know what I love? I love those little soft things that you wear over your hand and polish your shoes with. I got a lot of those. I got about 10. It's locked.
Don't you have a key?
Oh. I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion that I left my key in the house.
Well, here, it's on my right front pocket.
Okay. Where are your keys?
In the ignition.
Cross your fingers. Well, neither of those work.
I don't understand. It's always open.
Well, Mildred always locks it when she takes a shower.
Well, then knock on the door.
Well, she's not going to hear you if she's got the water running.
Then you walk around to the front door, let yourself in, walk through the house, and open that door.
Good idea.
And if Mildred is in the shower, let her know we're here. She has a habit of walking around naked when we're not there.
How would you know that?
Well, I walked in on her once.
What happened? What happened?
Well, she screamed and wrapped herself in paper towels.
Poor Mildred.
Really have to dust this thing?
Only once a day, Mildred.
Couldn't we put it someplace where nobody can see it? My bowling league gives away better looking hardware than this.
That was Derek. Just had a meeting with George, Al, and Tom. They decided to keep the collection intact and donate it to the city.
That's terrific, Mac.
Mildred, be careful of that trophy. We worked very hard to get that.
Yeah, and it costs a lot of money, too. What with car repairs, food bills, gas, hotel.
It's not the money, Mildred.
20th Annual Golden State Rally. DLBF, what does that mean?
Look at it this way, Mildred. Harry Jerome's in jail, and he's confessed to killing Gwyneth.
That's pretty stupid for a guy with all his money.
Well, he didn't really have all that much money.
Do you know that if Gwyneth had gone ahead with that divorce, that Harry would have had to open up his books?
Harry Jerome is a thief of monumental proportions. For 3 years now, he's been picking the richest pockets in Hollywood. Swindled everybody. We still would be today if it weren't for Gwyneth. That's why he had to get rid of her.
You know, he didn't even care about the antique cars. He just knew the rally would be a good cover to kill Gwyneth and make it look like someone else was responsible. That's why he hired those kids to change the signs, to divert the suspicion from himself.
Okay, terrific. I still want to know, what does DLBF mean?
Dead last, but finished.
Dead last but finished. I thought you said they canceled the rally.
They did.
But they gave you dead last but finished, even though you didn't finish.
Well, it makes sense to me. You?
Oh, me too.
Now, I know all those rally people are crazy.